Hi, thanks for stopping by. My name is Trina Johnson, and I'm here to tell you a little about my story of how I became a recovering attorney. My story begins on June 11th, 2007. It was a Monday, it was my mom's birthday, and it's the day that I ran into a professional and emotional brick wall. A little bit of background, at that time I'd been an attorney for about 10 years, and I was doing domestic law, probate law, bankruptcy, small business law, and civil litigation. On that particular Monday, I had a trial starting on Thursday, so Monday was the deadline to get exhibit list and witness list to opposing counsel and to the judge. I had 2 domestic court hearings at the courthouse in the morning. I had the afternoon booked with clients, several of them that should be showing up with retainers. So it was a pretty packed, normal, busy day. But of course, things didn't go as planned. That morning at the courthouse, my clients, well, not just my client, but the couple that was about to be divorced had been fighting all weekend long, and they were not going to negotiate or compromise on anything. Both of them dug in their heels, and it got heated, it got verbally abusive. It was just bad. So the judge from the bench says, I'm not putting up with these shenanigans. Let's reconvene at 2 o'clock and start a contested trial. Well, wasn't ready for a contested trial, but as an attorney, you learn to go with the flow and to improvise. So that's all fine. So I called into the office. I had to cancel my afternoon appointments, stayed at the courthouse. We started a trial. And of course, it didn't go anywhere. And instead, we ended up getting a continuance. So it's going to go on for 2 months. But now I've wasted the whole day at the courthouse when I had all these other things to do. So I get to the office, and the intention was I was just going to run in, drop the briefcase, and head to my parents for dinner. And instead, as I walk in, the phone rings. And I look at the caller ID, and it is a number from a nightmare client whose case had been over 3 years before. The only reason he could be calling me was that he needed a modification or he wanted to rehire me. And instead of doing the professional, responsible thing, like answer the phone and be happy and grateful that here comes another client with a retainer, instead I just kind of sank into the seat, put my head down, and started to cry. And I cried, and I cried. And I had myself a really good cry. And eventually I looked up to the sky and said, God, help. I hate my life. I am miserable. I cannot do this anymore. That was quite a shock. I had never said that to myself before. How about you? Have you ever hit that point where you just said, what am I doing? I mean, the realization, the raw, naked truth that I was miserable was staring me in the face, and I didn't know what to do with it. I mean, it was like, I can't be. I did what everyone does. I rationalized. I said, you know what? I've got it good. I mean, I have spent all this time and money on this practice. I've got clients. The phone never stops ringing. I've got staff. I've got a long-term lease. I've got good reputation. I'm charging $150, $250 an hour. I get to do what I want to do. How could I possibly be miserable? I mean, other people would look at my life and be envious. But the truth was there. It was not what I wanted to be doing. But I didn't know what to do. So I started with, maybe I can tweak the law practice. Nope. You know what? That wasn't what I wanted to do. So I started searching, what else could I do? How could I make myself happy? Kind of thing. And then I ran into this quote, and I wish I could tell you where I found it, so I could give them credit. Well, I'm not sure where it came from, but the quote was, change will only happen when your dissatisfaction is greater than your fear. Oh. So in other words, because I couldn't make a change, my dissatisfaction and my fear were equal. Wow, I didn't want my satisfaction to go up, So that means I had to reduce my fear. So how do you do that? How do you reduce that fear to give yourself the confidence to make a huge life change? Well, apologies to Alcoholics Anonymous, but I've kind of come up with a 12-step get clear, lose the fear. So here's kind of like my 12 steps. First step is you have to admit that you are afraid. And it's natural and it's okay, but you just have to say, you know what I have to deal with is fear. Number 2 is you have to realize that God has put you there at that time and that place for a purpose, and that the rest of your life also has purpose. And no matter what you do, the choices you make, God's purpose will always come through. So it's okay. You can make mistakes, because at the end of the day, your life will end up the way life is supposed to be. 3, you have to make the decision for yourself that you're going to pursue your passion, no matter what. I mean, you've got to become very, very clear on what it is that is good for you and that you want to do. If you can see it, you can achieve it. So then number 4 is, this one was really hard for me, is you really have to get to know yourself. You need to get to know yourself deeply and truthfully. Your authentic self cannot remain suppressed if you're really going to get rid of your fear. Okay, you really have to get to know yourself. Number 5 is you have to admit that what you've been doing up to this point is not fulfilling you, that you are not on the right path. The more you get in touch with who you really are, and that you're going the wrong way, the easier it is to become clear on the way you should go. Number 6 is you've got to be open to opportunities as they present themselves. When you're in that stuck place, you can't always just make a list of this is what I'm going to do, because the opportunities may not be there. You need to allow yourself to be open to opportunities. You have to ask others for help, and this one was also hard for me, but you have to stay away from naysayers. For me, it meant I had to get new friends. I had to get friends who didn't just automatically think of me as an attorney, that didn't think I was crazy because I was walking away from a law practice. I needed to get people who would support me for me. Then you need to make a list of all the things that you do not want in your life. And when you make that list, there are no compromises. If there's something on that list, it can't be in your life anymore. And then on the flip side, you have to make a list of all the things you do want in your life. And again, you want to accept nothing less that's what's on your list of what you want. Number 10 is you've got to continually work on yourself. Okay, you need to develop your skills. You need to learn. You need to do things that are kind of outside of your comfort zone. And you also need to make your emotional and physical well-being a priority. You got to take care of you, and then you'll see that your fear will start to just erase. Find a mentor or an accountability partner. This is so important. If you really want to get over your fear, find someone who can specifically support you and help you and show you the way. That is critical. And then the last one, number 12, is, well, help others. Don't be selfish. The more that you give, the more you get back. So it's one of those things that as you are finding that you're afraid, find others who are afraid, or if you have a suggestion, help them get over their fear, and you'll find that your fears will go away. Okay, so now I run women's retreats and events. I write books. I teach seminars, all in an effort to help others, especially women who are trapped in their 9-to-5 job, but they're just aching to make a change, but are afraid that they need the help and support. I'm there to help them get clear on what they want to do, to create the path to get over the fear so that they can live the life they're meant to live. So that's my story for now, but as you know, the rest is still unwritten. So you can find me at successpointconsulting.com. Thanks for watching.